In this video I'm comparing the settings on Predator Hunting Grounds on a 1650 Super. There's problems with Predator Hunting Grounds, and one of those problems is the previous benchmark videos are 4 years old, showing pretty much a different game. Well, the graphics options are different. They show this running on epic quality, around about 60 frames per second, dipping to 40, 45. But the emphasis should be on the lows, not the highs. I cap mine at 60 frames per second, and I'm interested in knowing how often it's going to go under 30 frames per second, because then things get very difficult and I tend to die. So the settings I'm playing around with are medium and high quality on all the sliders. Now the video in the bottom left was the first one I shot, D3D11 at medium settings. It seemed like a reasonable place to start. See that I've got an average frame rate on there and also a graph, and it doesn't really change much, so I disabled it in subsequent videos. The Reaver tuner statistics weren't updating, they were giving me stale information basically. Rather than let it do the average, and who knows the formula for the average? Well, I do, but it's not apparent on the screen. I'll just show you the instantaneous frame rates from D3D11 and 12. Make of that what you will. What I make of it is the times when they're under 30 frames per second, I'm not having a good time, and I'm going to highlight those in sepia. This game received a big update a couple of months ago in October 2024. They say it's version 3.0 now, and that makes it suitable for Xbox S and X and PlayStation 5. Apparently the graphics have been a big part of the update. It looks like a great game, and it's going to be a lot better test for my graphics card than DVD was. I did try a few other settings like higher quality, cinematic and epic. It's bearable with cinematic textures. What I did find helped awfully was turning the render distance down. You want to get the Predator before he snipes you from miles away, but you just get a lot of lag when he gets up close and slaughters you, or when other people are up close and grinding you down. I identified two particular areas where the frame rate struggles, and those areas were where there's a lot of foliage and explosions. When your teammates are alive, just before they die, tends to get better after they die, and I think the reason for that is they're putting up a fight, putting a lot of explosions on the screen near you. Anyway, this is an old GPU, and I wanted to see how I could squeeze a few more years of enjoyment out of it by playing around with the settings, tweaking them. And the D3D11 versus D3D11 switch is very new. I've not seen anyone mention it on this game before. I'd conclude from this video, D3D11 is better on this game with this card. You can see in the videos that it's 100% CPU utilization while using D3D11, so it might not always be the case if you haven't got spare CPU. And when I say it's better, I mean that the lows are higher, so you get a more consistent frame rate. You don't have to worry about a death lag, I guess you'd call it. The results are summarised at the end. I put a sepia tone on places where they dip below 30 frames per second, and I tally up the times they spent below 30 frames per second at the end, and D3D11 spent like a minute. And that's on the high quality. On medium it spent no time at all. It's confusing in the D3D11 settings that they spend more time below 30 frames per second in the medium setting rather than the high. That's just the margin of error in the accuracy of my tests.